To ask you just, what was your first year here at Ohio State like for you?
Definitely. It was definitely great. I think, we struggled last year, and I think that we kind of got some battle scars that all of us kind of felt from last year, and that we're carrying on to this year, that we can have some type of fire, to go back out there and play. But for me, overall, it was great, kind of developing more, definitely getting stronger physically on the defensive end as well, just in general. So.
You mentioned the struggles the team had. What do you think you guys learned from that you can now apply to this year so it doesn't happen again?
Definitely. I think the biggest thing that we learned was mentally being prepared and locked in every single minute. We lost so many close games. I think it was around 10 or 12 that were right there going into the final 2 minutes. And I think understanding how much it really does take to win the Big Ten, especially some really good out-of-conference games, kind of helped us, especially this year, with going down the line and playing in the final couple minutes.
Roddy mentioned you guys kind of finding that nothing-to-lose mentality in the Big Ten tournament. How do you think you guys maybe carry over what you had at the end of last year and then sustain it all year long?
Definitely. I think it goes back to understanding, there is nothing to lose. I mean, we are going to come in this year and everyone's going to doubt us. And for us, that puts a fire in our stomachs. Hey, we have something to show, especially how we played last year in the Big Ten tournament, just winning 4 games in a span of 6 days, which is unbelievable. It's a quick turnaround like that. So, like you said, kind of like Roddy said, nothing to lose mentality. Go out there every single day, every game, and play, every practice.
Is there something you're seeing that's different from this team this offseason than what you were seeing at this time a year ago?
Definitely. We've definitely put a lot of effort on the defensive end. I think that was a huge thing that we needed to fix, especially defensive schemes, and bringing in Coach Brandon, who came from was with the Boston Celtics for 12 years and with Detroit for 1. And him kind of shifting our defensive mindset was a huge thing that we needed this summer, and it happened. I think that's one of the biggest things that we've worked on so far.
How much does that help, having a coach on staff who's been in the NBA and kind of knows how things work at that level?
Definitely, it's amazing, and it adds along with already such an amazing staff that we have. It's surreal because now you have a guy who's working with guys that we look up to and try to kind of have our games made after, and to have that experience and just that kind of how I say. Capability of translating that is huge.
For you personally, what do you look at as things you need to do to earn a bigger role this year?
Definitely. I think the biggest thing that kind of me and Coach Holt kind of talked about this year was defensively. They had no worries about offense, being able to spread the floor and shoot, drive, penetrate, kick out. That was not the issue. I think the biggest thing was physically. And for me, this whole preseason, gaining a good extra 13 pounds and just getting more physical was huge to help me kind of carve a new role.
What's kind of that process been like this offseason? What are things you've had to do to transform yourself physically?
Definitely. There's been a lot of days in the weight room, and definitely a lot of good, hard physical reps, competitive reps in practice. I think that was the big thing that kind of was different from last year, being on a scout team, playing a lot of offense, not as much defense. But this year, really being thrown in the fire, going to get up against really, really great talent like Roddy and Bruce has definitely helped my game.
What do you think it was that maybe you lacked in that area a year ago? Was it just physicality, or was it just kind of adjusting to college talent?
Definitely, I think it was an even amount of both. Plus with experience, I think that's a big thing. Not being able to get those reps in practice or to perform well in practice like that, just because I wasn't strong enough. But already, like I said, this year, being able to actually go out there and make a difference is a huge challenge.
How do you feel like you guys as a class, you, Roddy, Bruce, Felix, have all just kind of collectively grown from last year to year 2?
Definitely. Those guys did a great job last year finishing out their season. You could see the big jumps, the physicality, the weight that Felix has gained, the way Bruce performed and how Roddy performed in the Big Ten tournament. You can really see the growing pains, and not just them, me too, kind of went through that season, because even if you're not out on the floor, you still had that pain after almost every single game, and you're the urge to come back in every single day and try to be the best version of yourself. Kind of, I think, admitted with all 4 of us coming in that freshman class last year.
So you guys, you have 4 second-year guys, 4 first-year guys, a lot of youth on this team. What do you kind of do to maybe overcome the fact that you don't have a ton of experienced guys on the team?
Definitely. I think the biggest thing the best way that I think that we do overcome that is just being put in situations in practice where it's at a disadvantage. I mean, because everyone's going to think that we're going to have a disadvantage going to games. You have older guys, stronger guys, but being able to be put in situations like that in practice, especially all of us young guys, is definitely going to help us in the long run to be able to perform against, like you said, a group of guys that count as kind of like youth guys.